Sanjay Uvacha Tam Tata Kripayavishtam Ashupurnakshalekshana Ushidantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudana. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Material compassion, lamentation and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu. Why is that? The echo is so much. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in discharge of his duty. No one knows where the compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of innocence cannot be saved simply by rescuing the outward dress, the gross material body. Yogi, volume is, echo is coming. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Yes, okay. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, and as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Shri Krishna. This realization made possible a working with the fruitive being situated in the fixed conception of the real self. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Bhashyata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So a lot of things here. It's a revolution actually. And when you read Bhagavad Gita, the attitude should not be what Krishna should say. Then there is no need to read Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Just like you go to teacher, and if the teacher tells anything, yeah, I know, don't go to the teacher then. No use. Teacher means, I didn't know that. Okay? That is the spirit. That is qualified as a teacher. You go to a teacher, he teaches something. I didn't know that. That means he is a teacher. He is teaching you something. Yeah. Same Arjuna also in the Bhagavad Gita, if you see, first chapter is completely on the material platform. And people who are also blind to spiritual life will actually agree to Arjuna. So, Krishna, why such a big slaughter? Why the war? Why the violence? I have renounced the kingdom. I can sit like a beggar. Let Duryodhana enjoy the kingdom. I think our government of India policy is also like the first chapter only. They say that some is a joke. Somebody asked America, if I throw a bomb in your country, what you will do? They say, I will kill you. That's why they killed Osama. And somebody asked, went to England and say, if I throw a bomb in one country, your country, what you will do? They say, we will kill you. They came to India, said, if I throw a bomb in your country, what you will do? So we will not play cricket match with you. That was a one or two. Then they agree somehow. That is first chapter of Gita. Arjuna is also in the same mode. And I think they didn't read after first chapter. Gandhi also, And they didn't read after. I think he read the 2-3 shlokas of Arjuna and stopped. Because somehow, foolishly, he tried to justify non-violence of Gita. Because Bhagavad Gita, if you read any chapter, after the first chapter, Krishna doesn't open his mouth. He opens his mouth from second chapter. And every chapter Krishna says, kill, kill, kill. You can't support non-violence from Gita. At least philosophically it is not tenable. Correct? Bhagavad Gita is, Arjuna proposed non-violence in the first chapter. He said, I will live a life of begging, Krishna. I don't want this war. And Krishna from the second chapter started, kill, 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 kill. This Arjuna is in tears now. Material compassion. Oh, non-violence, non-violence. Krishna said, kill them. Don't spare them. So it's not easy. So therefore, don't go to hear Bhagavad Gita already with the idea. I know. When you open Gita, your idea should, I didn't know that. Then you, otherwise why study? Then why you are studying? Correct? When you open mathematics books, you open one. I didn't know this. I'm learning. I keep studying. Correct? Even a news article you're reading, why you read? I didn't know that. So your inquiry is that. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is also on the platform of whole life, literally on the platform. I didn't know that. There's so many things to learn. So now Prabhupada is commenting on the purport directly as Krishna's servant. He has already solved the Arjuna's problem in the purport itself of the first shloka of the second chapter. The whole problem of Arjuna was, he was lamenting on the material platform. Just like morning I was discussing something interesting. Let me develop that nicely. The idea was this, that everybody has an anxiety. Correct? You look at anybody in the street, big anxieties. You cannot find any peaceful person in this. But what are the two anxieties? And they are running around because to somehow solve this anxiety. Running for only one purpose. They have two anxieties to solve. And they keep running. What is that? One is money, other is woman. They say Kanchana Kamini. You see, there is no third purpose. These two purposes in Bhagavad Gita also, Bhoga and Aishwarya. Sense gratification, which is the highest form, is the opposite sex. For man, woman, woman, man, and money. People are whole day running all these two. And they have great deal of anxiety for it. And many times people come to spiritual life, peace, peace, no anxiety. Actually, it's a nonsense idea. Spiritual life also we have anxiety. Yashoda mother, she has always anxiety. But that is spiritual anxiety. It doesn't disturb her. It makes her more and more ecstatic. She is thinking Krishna will fall into fire. She is very worried actually, whole day. Krishna will fall into fire, monkey may come now. So many demons are attacking Krishna every day. You know them? Every day, Najasura, Bakasura, you can list them. Every day, Putana, every day an attack. She is in constant anxiety. And he has to eat, he has not eaten, and this, that. But that anxiety is welcome. That anxiety will lead you to kingdom of God. And the material anxiety will throw you into hell. You have to choose. You can't live. Therefore, some people say, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kanshati. Somebody comes to spiritual life, he does not hanker and he does not cry over what he has lost. Yes, material platform. He does not hanker on the material platform. He does not cry for something he has lost on the material platform. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Then he understands the equality of all the living entities, because everybody is the spirit soul, not the body. And then comes to the next platform. What is that? Mada Bhakti. And Bhakti means anxiety. Cooking is over. Getting late. Offering is not done to the Lord. Yes, sadhana that is. We are not on the Raganuga platform now, but practicing. The temple, so many services are there to train us. Getting late. Mangalarti is not over. 4:30 already. These are all anxieties. These are actually training us as sadhana to develop spiritual anxiety. Many people, they have a conception of God as a father. That means no anxiety. They don't want it, because when you consider father is there, child has no anxiety. It's peaceful. But Gita is not proposing that. It's saying you become father of God and be full of anxieties. What kind of anxieties? Spiritual anxieties. Yes. Therefore, great Acharya, they also have always anxiety. What is the anxiety they're having? People are suffering. What should be done? They also have anxiety. That is spiritual anxiety. How to deliver these people who are like animals, stuck to the conception that I am the body? Therefore, Vedavyasa says, Manda, dull-headed, Samannavatayo. Their mati, their opinion is equally stupid. First dull-headed, then stupid opinion. Mati, my mati. Krishna also says, Matir mama, this is my opinion. So they are Samannavatayo, the foolish ideas. Then Manda Sumandamatayo, Manda Bhagya, very unfortunate. On top of it, Upadita, always disturbed. Kali Yuga, we think we are advancing, correct? Vedavyasa says in Bhagavatam, Prayena Alpayusha Sabhyaha, Kalo Asmini Yuge Janaha. These Kali Yuga fellows, they have these qualities. First, dull-headed. So you may say, what are you telling? Dull-headed? We are so advanced and we have developed such wonderful medicine system, we have developed such nice technologies, and Vedavyasa is giving a certificate dull-headed. वो F grade दे के बैठ गया और इधर हम सोचे A+ है, correct? I am doctor, specialized doctor, super specialist, ऐसा है, correct? You see what degrees they put? MBBS, MD, FC, well, I don't know meaning of so many of them. Something they simply put also. You become fellow of some organization, that they also they put. I don't know which is difficult, which is easy, but big list is there, many doctors. And the charge is equal to how many list is there. So, but whatever it is, you are putting such a list, similarly law everywhere, but Krishna or Vedavyasa, because Vedavyasa is the incarnation of the Lord, is giving one certificate for all the people of Kali Yuga. F grade, fail. Manda, dull-headed. You take certificate, excellent. And Vedavyasa is saying dull-headed. Why does it say dull-headed? Because Kali Yuga we are only full of material anxiety. Therefore Prabhupada said that is called Shudra. What is the meaning of Shudra? Shudra means they always cries. It is not like that, that has not happened, that is good. Therefore Arjuna is practically, even though he is a Kshatriya, is behaving like a Shudra. Simply crying, what will happen, how will I fight, my teacher will die. Do your work. Behaving like, just like you are a policeman and you go to arrest somebody. If he happens to be a brother, what can you do? Why did you do crime? Arrest. Oh, how can I put my brother? Oh, what brother? Arrest now. True. You should think of that time or not think. No, you do your duty. So similarly, Arjuna didn't tell Dronacharya Bhishma to join that nonsense site. It is their mistake. He has to punish. Duryodhana is fit for punishment. He has to be punished. As a Kshatriya, he has to give punishment. Kshatriya's role is to give punishment when needed. Not non-violence. Kshatriya doesn't practice ever non-violence. Non-violence is for Brahmanas, for saintly people. They practice non-violence. They're not going to take a weapon out. But a Kshatriya cannot practice that. That is nonsense actually. And actually that idea, is still not gone. The polluted in the mind that administration has non-violence, there can be no nonsense idea more than that. Administration should be thunder sometimes when needed. As soft as rose, as hard as stone. Kshatriya has to be like that. Correct? So now there was very important point here. Yes, so anxiety is needed. You can't be without anxiety. Some people say that peace, of fools. Anxiety, but spiritual anxiety will not disturb you. It will give you bliss. Correct? It will make you so peaceful, so happy. But devotees have anxiety. But it should not disturb you. How do you know it's on a spiritual platform, material platform? Material anxiety will disturb you. Spiritual anxiety will make you blissful. Just like people don't understand the separation. Iron and gold look same, but there is a lot of difference. Iron is iron, no value, and gold is invaluable. Correct? That's why they are bringing no little difference of rates is there nowadays. In underwear and pocket, in the shoe, they're bringing gold biscuits. Correct? It's valuable. They're not bringing iron. Why? No value. Comparatively useless. So similarly, metal, but iron and gold are both metal. Both look same. Metal, no, both metal, but there is a value. There is a difference. So similarly, people who do not know, they compare material anxiety to spiritual anxiety. Bhagavad Gita says, do your duty. Idiot. First understand the platform. What is duty? I am body or soul? It depends on that. You are driving a car. What's your duty? To take care of the yourself or the car? Primary is yourself. Car is secondary. If car gets damaged, you can change the car. Not a big deal. Anyway, people throw car and buy every few years. But the primary thing is you. So similarly, the people who are on the level of Shudras, for them, Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. That is definition of a Shudra. And a Brahmana definition is Madhav Seva is Manav Seva. Therefore, Prabhupada is giving this example, very simple example. He says, suppose some man is drowning. Correct? Prabhupada is saying here, no one knows where compassion should be applied. Nobody knows. You want to do good, you should know how to do good. Now I want to do good here. First you should know how to do good. Otherwise you will harm other person. Suppose some person is having some jaundice. You can't eat paratha. When you can't eat? Jaundice, you can't eat. Prabhupada himself. Oily stuff. Yeah, Prabhupada remembers when he was a small child, he saw a lady. No, not child. He was elder by that time. And he saw a lady running with a stick behind a child and beating him like anything. So Prabhupada sent a servant across the road and said, inquiring, what happened? Servant came back and told, the lady is telling, the child is sick with jaundice and he has given paratha with all ghee and oil to him just because he was asking. Mother was not giving. When you have a serious diseases, you can't eat heavy items. You're not supposed to eat. Correct? It may be poisonous. One man food is other man poison. In certain condition you can't eat. But he was crying, Mommy, I want to eat paratha. Mommy, I want to eat paratha. So Mama did not give. But brother was hearing. No, the brother is sick. Brother wants paratha. She is not giving. And he gave. And mother was taking stick and beating. So simply to trying to do good without knowledge, it may harm other person. And most of the people, first thing, nobody does any good. They take care of themselves only because whole life they are chasing two things. Money and woman, money and woman. They have no time for any other person. If they do good, they harm other person rather than do any good. Just like the paratha. Okay? So therefore, Prabhupada is saying, very nice, this is to learn. The compassion for a dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man is drowning, he brings his dress out. But any use? Somebody, so many people drown. Now youngsters also, we get a news, Tanir Bhavi somewhere, they were doing that dance. They do the Masarukutike, but not Masarukutike, what do you call it? Kuli Vesha, Tiger Vesha, and then Black Tiger is also there in it. They do dance, all that. And they went to practice near Tanir Bhavi, and after practice they just wanted to take a bath, 5 of them drowned. Now you were jumped there to save them. And nothing is there, only underwear is there. You brought his underwear out. And you say, I saved. What you have saved? Man has drowned. What is the use? Is it some use if you bring the dress? So all the people, when they are trying to do good to another person, they are only doing good to the external body. They have no knowledge. The real suffering is the suffering of the soul, not of the body. Not of the body. Real suffering is only suffering of the soul. When person has understood that, then he can begin to understand Bhagavad Gita. But Bhagavad Gita is not on the sentimental platform at all. Krishna does his activities on the sentimental platform. Just like, sometimes suppose child has done some crime and mother slaps him. Mother is good. She is not on a sentimental platform, deserves to be punished. Correct? But some mother will be on a sentimental platform. No. Done something wrong, he should be punished. If this punishment is going to rectify him, if this punishment is going to evolve him, well, let him go through that experience. Correct? The same way, Krishna, sometimes people say, if God is there, why there is so much suffering in this world? Because Krishna is not sentimental like you. If that experiential learning is good for him, Krishna says, let him go through that. Sometimes it happens, so much trouble, so much mental pressure, this, that. And I'm thinking, why God is doing this to me? Yeah, it's good for you. Go through that. Krishna is not sentimental. If this experience, because many good lessons are learnt in hard times, correct? So if that situation will allow you to learn something, but the point is that, they said there was a chiseler. He was chiseling. Suppose somebody is chiseling you, okay? Like plastic surgeons do something. But you have to cooperate, no? Correct? If you don't cooperate, how is it going to chisel? So similarly, most of the people, they want to remain stubbornly stuck to the material platform. Krishna can't help you actually. Then Krishna withdraws and laws of karma take over. And that learning is very, very slow. That is like, two ways we can learn. What is called Shastra, one is Shastra. Correct? Suppose you go to the jail, you are the king of the country, and go to the jail and somebody has done some pickpocket. See, it is not good for you. You should not do all these things. Yeah, I'm very sorry. I'll never do such thing. If you are a king, you can reduce a sentence, seeing his sincerity, correct? You can, sometimes they release also on Independence Day, something they give mercy. Small crimes they release people. So if he agrees Shastra, there is no need of Shastra. But if he says, no, even if I come out again, I'll do pickpocket. What the king will say? Guards, take dandas out. He will not learn in a normal way. He wants to learn in a hard way. So some people who want to be stuck to the material platform, they will learn in a very hard way. That material platform will never work out, will never make them happy. They want to learn in a very hard way. But kono bhagyavan ji, brahmand brahmite, kono bhagyavan. Some very fortunate man is there. He will say, yes, let me just take advice. Just like Arjuna is a very fortunate personality. Why? He came to the material platform, definitely. By his all emotions, he is on a material platform now. But he took shelter of Krishna. He took advice from Krishna and came back to the spiritual platform within half an hour. That's all the time Gita was for. Correct? It took. All of us are actually, any suffering, distress, mental or physical, is a sign of illusion. Because in the kingdom of God, there is not even a single cause for lamentation. Everything is going on nicely. God is in control. There is no cause. Prabhupada used to say there is nothing lamentable in the kingdom of God. Because the perfect manager. There is no reason to lament for anything. He is perfectly managing everything. If Krishna doesn't manage things properly, gone, we are gone. Everything will be finished. So now, in the kingdom of God, Krishna is a perfect manager. So there is no cause for lamentation. Now, in front of Arjuna, Krishna is standing and is smiling. Peaceful. And here is intention, sign of Maya. Sign of full illusion, actually. And why he is in illusion? He has come to the material platform. Correct? Therefore, he is seeing things in a very strange way. One more shloka. Today we have, instead of that arti, we will do Kartik Arti today. One more shloka we can. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Utastvakashmalamidam Vishame Samupasitam Anarjushtam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The Supreme Person, Bhagavan said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets. or to infamy. Want to read?
Krishna and Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. Absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman or the impersonal all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all the living entities, and Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. See, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus: Vadanti tat tattva tattvam ajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Bhagavad Gita 1.2, Bhagavata 1.2. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely sunshine, the sun's surface and sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness and glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature, may be compared to those who can realize only Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to the knowledge of Paramatma feature of the absolute truth, and the student who can enter into heart of the sun planet is compared to those realized personal feature of the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, the bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the absolute truth are topmost transcendentalists. Although all students who are engaged in the study of absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter, the sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of three different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained by the great authority Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge and all renunciation is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned and very much detached. But no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva or Narayana, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the primeval Lord or Bhagavan, known as Govinda, and he is supreme cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the quality of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and cause of all causes. In Bhagavatam also there is a list of many incarnations of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Krishna is described as original personality of Godhead. from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. Ete cha amshakala pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vakulam Lokam Nadayanti Yuge Yuge. All the list of incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of plenary expansions of Supreme Godhead, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, absolute truth, the source of both Super Soul and impersonal Brahman. In the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the words kutas, wherefrom such unmanly sentiments were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagavan, and they are captivated by external features of material world, and therefore they do not know that liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from the duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsman.
So, long purport. But there is a very important point here, because you see the word uses, the whole first discussion is, see, even it is called Bhagavad Gita, it does not call something else. Why? Even called Bhagavad Purana. There is Shiva Purana, this Purana, but it is called Bhagavad Purana. Now this is the Purana about the Supreme Lord, that's why. Therefore he didn't say Krishna Vacha, he could have said Krishna Vacha. Because we saw Dhritarashtra Vacha is there, Sanjaya Vacha is there, Arjuna Vacha is there. But whenever Krishna sees Shri Bhagavan Vacha, not only Krishna is Bhagavan Vacha, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Please hear. He is saying please hear with respect. Now some great authority is speaking. Okay. Nowadays it is like we are so proud. Therefore it is said spiritual advancement cannot begin unless we hear the Lord with respect. And that is a learning process, If you think, suppose teacher is teaching you, and you think you know more than the teacher. Teacher can't finish one line. He says one line, but sir this, but sir this. The teacher will say either I teach or you teach. Correct? It happens sometimes. So similarly, Arjuna and Krishna in the first chapter are only discussing, talking like friends. Even now discussion is almost about to end. 6th shloka, Arjuna will surrender to Krishna. So Krishna also talked like friend only. He didn't reveal any spiritual knowledge. So there is a reason that he is called Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Vedavyasa is using that word. Every word is perfectly weighed and kept, not just what we speak. Very advanced civilization. And what is it saying? He is saying from first Bhagavan. Prabhupada has given 3 reasons why he is called Bhagavan. Correct? What are the 3 reasons? The first reason is that absolute truth is known in 3 levels. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. Vadante tattvavidas tattvajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdate. When somebody comes to the spiritual life, the first level of understanding they get into, that is called Sat, eternity. They understand I am not body and spirit, soul. Therefore spirituality starts. Beginning. That's it. Beginning platform, ABCD. Each is a big class, but I am telling now in summary. The next platform that comes is Paramatma. That is Chit, knowledge feature. I am knowing only what is there happening to my body. Somebody touches hair, I am knowing, correct? But I don't know somebody, if he is having a pain or headache, I don't know. Correct? My conscious is limited to only my body. If there's somebody whose conscious is not limited like that, he is present in every body, that is God. That is Chit feature of the Lord. All-knowing aspect. And then comes Ananda, Satchidananda, the Bhagavan feature of the Lord. The Lord is having, just like today we are going to meditate now Kartik Aarti, Yashoda mother is about to tie Krishna. That relationship, we also did so many childhood pastimes. Who bothers to know? Nobody, even mother would rather want to talk about it now. Correct? But to this day, people talk, not only talk, all the temples they will have special Kartik Aarti. And they all meditate on, that is called Damodara. Mother Yashoda tying Krishna. Why? Because that is pure. That is pure love. So that is Ananda. Relationship pleasure comes. Purer the relationship, more the Ananda. Ananda comes only by interaction between relationships. That's how Ananda we derive. There is no other way to derive Ananda. You don't get Ananda for stone. Ananda you get when you have another living entity and you have an interaction with the living entity in a particular relationship. Correct? Pure the relationship, purer is the pleasure. And Krishna with Mother Yashoda, 100% pure relationship. Therefore, Ananda is unlimited. And to this day, people discuss this. Oh, that is it. Like that. So that is Bhagwan feature of the Lord. So that is one definition of the Bhagwan. Prabhupada compares his understanding just like a sun is there. Now we may not see the sun, we may see sunshine. That is one understanding, one level of understanding. The second level of understanding is that you can see, come out and see there is a sun disk. The third level is you can enter in the sun planet and see what's going on. Correct? Nobody knows exactly what's going on. We have some theories. We can't enter there. It's very hot. Satchit Ananda. Just like you see a mountain from a distance, it's just like a shadow. But you go near, you can see a shape. You go near, there are people living there. So many, activities are going on. So there is in stages. Mostly people don't enter spiritual life. They remain material life, then remain there. Don't. That is your choice. You want a material life, stay. Who is forcing you? But don't bring material ideas to spiritual life. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You remain in your material world. Nobody is forcing you to come. Correct? Nobody is forcing us to accept Bhagavad Gita. Nobody is forcing. Is anybody is forcing? Nobody is forcing. But when you come to Bhagavad Gita, don't bring your ideas. You keep them aside. You hear what Krishna is saying. And otherwise, why you read Bhagavad Gita? You write your own Gita. No problem. Some people want to read. We have no problem. But we, as far as we are concerned, we have decided we want to take Krishna's advice. That's all. Some people say, no, I don't want Krishna's advice. That's well and fine. Nobody is forcing you. But we have decided, no, we want to take Krishna's advice. So that choice we have to make. Whether I want to be guided by Krishna or no, that decision is for me to make. Correct? All of us are actually being guided by our own mind. So surrender comes when I say, yes, my mind has been guiding me, but just like Arjuna also felt, I am taking guidance of my mind and I am confused. Krishna, can you guide me? What should I do? Then only we should open and read Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, no use of reading. You got it? There is some, just like suppose you go to some college, say Mangalore KMC college is there, and teacher is teaching. Now, why you are teaching this? He said, first you decide, it's not for me. This is the college I will be teaching. You decide whether you want to learn medicine or not. Then you please come inside. Correct or not? So similarly, it's for me to decide whether I want guidance of Krishna. So here, Vedavyasa is pointing out why he is presenting Krishna's guidance. He didn't write Krishna Gita. He wrote Bhagavad Gita, the guidance of the Supreme Personality of God. So this Bhagavad word has been explained in 3 ways. Number 1, I told you Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan. Spiritual life, the highest platform is Bhagwan. Number 2. What is the number 2? 3 ways. What is the second one? Everybody is. That is the first platform. The 6 opulences. That is Parashar Muni's definition of Bhagwan, his father of Vedavyasa, which he has quoted in Vishnu Purana. Aishwaryasya samagrasya virya shashasriya. It defines. The God is there, not there is a separate issue. First define God. Gold is there or not there. First we define, then we can talk. He says there are 6 opulences a person is known for. Shadaishwarya. What are the 6 opulences? First thing is money. That is the first thing any person is known for. How much money he has. Correct? If he has money, he is very intelligent. Somebody was asked, are you intelligent? He said, wait a minute. Took his pocket. Lot of money. Yes, I am intelligent. If somebody doesn't have money, he is a fool. That's it. Anyway, that's how people are today. So first he put opulence, money. Then Aishwarya samagrasya virya. Then if somebody is very powerful, then also he becomes like underworld people, what they call in Mangalore, Annas. They have that one gold chain. Somebody I was telling that American return is very valuable. They say American return. I say, what American return? Jail return is most valuable. He's called Anna, you know that? Everybody is scared of him. Once you have jail return, everybody is scared of him. And they wear one gold chain here. And they do whatever they want. Nobody is. They are not, because once you're jail, you don't feel scared in going again inside the jail. They are now used to it. They are, acclimatized to that atmosphere. Then all this underworld uses them for all their haftas. Even mobile people use them for collecting their bills. Famous, Annas. So like that, power is also very important. Somebody is powerful, everybody is scared of him. Then next, Yasha. Somebody is famous, some famous cricket star, or some famous, he only knows how to hit a ball. I told you, some cricket star went to Nepal. All Indians in Nepal took a leave to talk to him. But then what do I talk to him? They just had to show how he takes catches, that's all. What they will do, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then they get bored of it. Simply. But anyway, somebody is famous, people get attracted. They will be stampede. There is some famous person comes. Correct? Then Shriya. 4th is beauty. You see the joke. Parashar Muni is exactly telling how we behave actually. Somebody is very beautiful. That is also attractive. 4th. 5th. That is 5th. Actually should be in the top. Jnana, knowledge. Somebody is knowledgeable. He also is attractive. But in the 5th category. But that also causes somebody is very knowledgeable, is attractive. And the last thing is, which is most important, that is the 6th category. But that is also an attraction. Somebody is very renounced. He is not at all attracted to the glitter of the material energy. This man is so vairagi. That is also an opulence. But it is given 6th category in the society. Actually, this should be reverse if you go technically, the 6 should go fun. Vairagya should come highest, knowledge should come first, next, correct? Like that. But society is perfectly written the shloka. Aishwarya samagrasya virya yashasha shreya jnana vairagya. These are the opulences. So now, many people have shown the 6 opulences in the history of the world. But nobody has shown it to the level Krishna has shown. All the 6 unlimited. We may have some money and we get very proud. Few lakhs we have in our account. We may have some power. We can fight with 2 fellows. We may have a gun, maybe some license. A little power, little money. But Krishna has all the power. He has all the money. And he demonstrated in his pastime. Therefore, he was referred to as Bhagwan. All the 6 in unlimited. That is the definition of Bhagwan. Then the 3rd definition of Bhagwan, he said, he took from Bhagavatam. Ete cham sakala pumsaha. Now this is a revolution. Now actually there is no difference between Krishna, Lord Rama, or Narayana, or Vishnu, or Varaha, Matsya. There is one, God is one only. This is called Vishnu Tattva. But Bhagavatam reveals something very interesting here. It says, after listing of the 24 incarnations, the first canto of Bhagavatam, 10 incarnations only prominent. Bhagavatam list 24. And he say these all 24 incarnations, please, I put Krishna also there, but please make a point here. Ete cha amsa, all these are amsha. Amsha means expansion. Kala means expansion of the expansion. Pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the Swayam Bhagavan. He is the original personality of Godhead. He is not an incarnation. He is an avatari, not an avatara. This is in Bhagavatam. Then, in the first canto itself of the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has quoted, first canto, 3rd chapter, 28th verse. Anybody can go and see. So, this is important point that Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna. Therefore, it is called Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Purana, because he is the Swayam Bhagavan. Because the 3 reasons he has given, and therefore, he has said that we should hear the Bhagavad Gita very carefully. And now the message, what Krishna says after that, he says the word used here was, Krishna said, Anarya Justam. Why are you, Arjuna, behaving like an uncivilized man? Arya means a man. Aryan civilization. Arya means a man, not some rubber stamp on the head. It's like some people say, rubber stamp. All the religions are only rubber stamp today. Arya is not some rubber stamp. Like Hitler also was telling, I am Aryans. Activities has to be like an Arya. Arya means a man whose Sanskrit meaning is looking for progressive in spiritual life. He wants to progress in spiritual life. He is called an Arya. So he is saying, Arjuna, your behavior is like an Anarya. And it is not going to be famous. People are not going to clap. Oh, Arjuna was so great. Maybe only Gandhi would have clapped. Nobody else will clap. Arjuna, you are the stupid decision. Akirti, you will become infamous by this decision. If you leave this battlefield now, you will not become famous. Rather, you will become infamous. You will get a bad name if you have to, because this activity is for an uncivilized man. Correct? So this is the Krishna's first answer to the whole chapter of Katha Arjuna gave. And if you read Bhagavad Gita first chapter, you see Arjuna is correct actually. He says, how can I throw arrows at my grandfather? I can worship him, Krishna. My teacher, how can I? This is not possible. My own cousin's desire, how can I kill them? And what will happen to this world when crores of people are going to die? Better forget this war, Krishna. I don't want kingdom. I live in a forest by begging. Correct? And Krishna said, Arjuna, from where this Kashmala Midam? Where? All from where? All this Gandagi has come in your mind. Vishame Samupastitam. In this hour of crisis, this is a war is about to start, these things have come in your mind. And these are all the behavior of a person who is anarya, who is uncivilized. Okay? And asvargam, swarga, it will not lead to swarga, it will lead to naraka, these activities. And akirti, it will not make you famous. You may think people will say, oh, you are so renounced. Akirti, it will lead to infamy. I think we have crossed the time for today. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.